wake up every morning, my mother will chide me. I'm just a suburban boy, just a suburban boy. Saturday night, no subway stations. Saturday night, just changing TV stations. I'm just a suburban boy, just a suburban boy. And I know what it's like to be rejected every night, and I'm sure that it must be easier for boys from the city. I go to the football and I cheer for my team. Go to the football just to hear myself scream. I'm just a suburban boy, just a suburban boy. Sunday session, I'm down at the hotel, staring at girls that I don't know. Well, I'm just a suburban boy, I'm just a suburban boy. And I know what it's like to be rejected every night, and I'm sure that it must be easier for boys from the city. Suburban boy, just a suburban boy. Saturday night, no subway stations. Saturday night, just changing TV stations. I'm just a suburban boy, just a suburban boy. And I know what it's like. I've been rejected every night, and I'm sure that it must be easier for boys from the city.
I thought I could do what I liked and she'd never crack. But I retained possession too long, and when I finally let her go, the siren had gone. My goals are empty before me, berated and frustrated, so I hit the referee. by the rules, I suggest you better not play at all. I hate players who yell trip when all the time they're holding the ball. So if you pick the time to end, you can't expect a bigger time to start. When you meddle with emotion, you're liable to get hurt yourself or break somebody's heart. That's the final story set against someone else you made hit you last night. I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose. Alan Ladd turned to John Wayne and pointed out across the plain. 1,000 engines filled the street. It seemed that this must be the end. Alan said we better run. John shook his head and cocked his gun. Said we got nothing to lose. We got nothing to lose. disgusting thing to do. Said I feel you're gonna die, the siren plays old Captain Bligh. But I will not take command unless you're with me too, man. They yelled, we got nothing to lose. Lose. We got nothing to lose. Lose. The backman in between the pitch discussing how to win the match. 10 to 11 said I'll swing you, run like hell and hope you win. 11 said mate, I'm with you, it seems the only thing to do. They had nothing to lose. Lose. They had nothing to lose. Lose. So my love, I hope you see how this relates to you and me. From loving me you can refrain and it will save potential pain. But I'd rather risk a broken heart and have you love than be without. We got nothing to lose. Lose. Hey, we got nothing to lose. Lose. Hey, we got nothing to lose. Lose. Hey, we got nothing to lose.
Russians bomb the rebels, Reagan runs the guns. The embassy is under siege, but the kids are having fun. In Beirut and El Salvador, they blow the place sky high. Someone's fighting someone, I don't know the reason why. Meanwhile in the suburbs, everybody wants to dance. Meanwhile in the suburbs, everybody wants to dance. Gaddafi, he's the colonel, he's a crazy, crazy cat. Call up the PM just to have a chat. Say, lend me a megaton or two. When I see you on the dance floor, gonna drop it right on you. Meanwhile in the suburbs, everybody wants to dance. Meanwhile in the suburbs, everybody wants to dance. I wanna dance till I got the chance, while the beat is still around. I wanna move my body, when I still touch the ground. I wanna stay out all night long, don't wanna say goodbye. I wanna keep on dancing, dancing till I die, yeah. If you got the bomb, you use the bomb, I know, and that's a fact. No one steps in the ring, one hand behind their back. They say it couldn't happen, let's not pretend. I'm gonna keep on dancing, dancing till the end. Hello there, St. Peter, hi there, Mr. D. My name is on the guest list, and that girl there, she's with me. Are there dance clubs up in heaven? I know there's DJs down in hell. Can I dance until eternity? Cause all my friends are here as well. Meanwhile in the suburbs, everybody wants to dance. Can you blame them? Meanwhile in the suburbs, everybody wants to dance. Meanwhile in the suburbs, everybody wants to dance. Yeah, yeah.
Heathrow Airport smells like a Madras curry. They stamped my passport 3 months and I think I'm in some kind of hurry. Johnny Rotten didn't die, he lingers in the public eye. You can't make money, you can't get good fish and chips. You can't make waves, cause every wave is unheavy. This one thing was heavy metal, last one thing was ska. The only time they like is when they don't know who the hell you are. UK, you could. You know that the special squad will. No one's got money, but everyone's got time to kill. If you're standing at the soccer, be careful what you shout, or you get a dart between the eyes and a knuckle on the snout. I searched the Strand, I was looking for Australia House. It was besieged with people clawing to get out. They're sending in the helicopters, loading on the ships. I wonder if I'll last the distance on my OS trip. UK. Now, thank you all. Now, if I'm moving a little bit stiffly tonight, you know, it's not because of too much of the Christmas turkey, it's because of a fucking four-wheel drive. There you go. That hit me in Manly just 2 weeks ago. Johnny's already got the death squad out. Johnny, you're out. You're out there. You're looking there.
Dave lying there in the streets of Manly, four-wheel drive, blood pissing from his body. But it made me think we're in Nam trying to dig shrapnel out of our legs with broken plastic chopsticks, but Dave was there. Amazing.
It was like that time the Claymore went off, Johnny, and you threw your body over me and protected me. And I'll never forget that, John.
I was just looking for somewhere soft, Dave.
It might be wrong, but I feel alright. And it's a big, bad, sexual drive. Now I don't know if it's politically right, but I get these thoughts in the middle of the night. Naked girls, some are black. It's a big, bad, actual fact. I've got this big, bad, sexual drive. My, oh my, what ecstasy. Mount the walls and come with me. Floating where there is no pain. All my demons have been slain. I heard a visit from the thought police, and they showed me what was wrong with this. Now I no longer feel alive. Bang, bang. I got this nice, clean, asexual drive. I had this big, bad, sexual drive. I felt good just being alive, and now I feel I'd rather die if I can't have my big, bad, sexual drive. I have this big, bad, sexual drive. Oh, big, bad, sexual, sexual drive. Big, bad, sexual drive. Big, bad, sexual drive. Big, bad, sexual drive. Big, bad, sexual drive. Ah, good little song there of Surplus and Dirt. Now, if you see cameras around here tonight, it's because we're making a DVD of this gig. So enjoy yourselves, get your face into the DVD. You'll probably be able to get a copy in a couple of weeks. African summer, African summer, African summer. I'm stretched out on Scarborough Beach, can't find my way to the OVH. In this African summer, this Australian summer, what's the connection between an African summer? Might as well be a wildebeest in the savannah, my t-shirt sweated through in this African summer. My rent's overdue, I feel like a beer, how about you? African summer, African summer, African summer, African summer, African summer. I caught a boat up the Zambezi or the Zetzi or the Swan. I caught a swan up the Botswana, Buana in this Indian summer. Indian Ocean swimmer, 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 and the Narrows in an African summer. I learned about G for giraffe in the sparse primary convent school for 4 Australian summers in the 1960s. Don't try and trick me. This is an African summer. Shark alarms are ringing me home, wringing my neck with sweat like a hippo rhino on the Limpopo. In an African summer. African summer. African summer. African summer. African nights, African nights, jumping like chimpanzees in their staggers and leaves, in this African heat, humidity under the table of the nightclub, African heats, mosquitoes and cars, cars and mosquitoes, neon bananas in an African summer, African summer. The man, the woman, the man, the drink beer. The John Travolta, the woman. The man, the woman, the nightclub. The miracle. African summer. I caught a boat at the Zambezi or the Zetzi or the Swan. Got a swan on the Botswana, Buana in this African summer. Now smell my skin producing vitamin D by the sea and the blare of the radio says there's 1 inch to go to an African summer, an African summer, an African summer.
Yeah, this is Bicton Baths where I learnt to swim, and over there is the concrete, or used to be a concrete changing block, and on top of that all the bodgies in summer used to go jumping into the water in their black jeans with zips on the side, and they'd lie down there chatting up the widgies because there was no sculptured gardens around here then. There were just, you know, like the reeds and a few dank trees around the place. And at night, when I lived up on the hill there, you could hear the sounds of the bodgies and widgies parting. It always had great romance. So I suppose somehow or other that worked its way into the Suburbs songs. Though actually, I now recall I wrote a little poem about that, which I may as well do now, because this is actually where it came from, and why not have that for you as an extra, added extra. Pink sock, ripple sole, black DBs form furtive circles under fragrant trees and strip jack naked the night away. All hail, J-O-K. Scared air hovers like a frightened waiter, handmaiden to iron-hard gladiators, and balances in its trembling fingers the lingering melodies of the She Wears My Ring singers, the eunuch choirs of the Punic fray. All hail, J-O-K. Sung to the beat of bundi shide at the heart of brown glass skittles sucked dry in the darkest cages of the farthest zoo, where cool cats do what cat men do, while lynx-like widgies lay petals at the feet of J-O-K. Imperator, catalyst, martyred Prometheus, your blood infused our mosquitoed beaches and imbues with life we poltergeists, we almost creatures. May your memory not fade away. All hail, J-O-K. That was a little song about bodgies and widgies, or a little poem about bodgies and widgies. What else can I tell you about Bicton? There's Braunton Street over there, an incredibly steep street, and I think I was a coward. I always walked my bike down there, because if your brakes failed going down Braunton Street, you ended up in the drink, and it was not a pleasant sight. A couple of my mates managed to do that. They were a lot more courageous than what I was, and they paid the penalty for it. But nowadays, Bicton, like the rest of Australia, is a little bit different. You've got to be quite wealthy to live in Bicton these days. As I say, in the old days, you know, it didn't matter. The guy who was the boat builder lived alongside Barry Ray, who had the service station, my dad, who was a butcher in Fremantle. But Australia's changed a lot since then, and I don't know, perhaps some of the underlying thoughts that come out of my material, though, can still wend its way through. Convict streak, well, I don't know about the expression of convict streak anymore. Is it as relevant today? Maybe it is. Maybe it's because of our convict streak we want to fight everyone we meet. A lot of those thoughts came from these places here.
Maybe it's because of our convict streak. We want to fight everyone we meet. Anzac Day is our day of the year. We march our march, we drink our beer. We don't like slopes, we don't like gangs. I personally like to blow up every commie tag. We're only few, but we fought in Nam. Backed our guns alongside Uncle Sam. Ask any of us, it was no sin. The only crime was that we didn't win. And the Bronx are weakest, miss the French are queer. The Germans are wankers, but they make good beer. Don't criticise what you don't understand. If you think I'm talking shit, you don't belong in this land. I'm Australian, we all are. We watch the telly and we drive our car. But don't you ever say we're weak, or you learn all about our convict streak. Go Johnny Leopard! Began with Adam and Eve, but Australia started at Gallipoli. Our fathers put the desert into desert rats, and their uncles slipped the booting up in Lambing Flats. Don't criticise what you don't understand. It's another way behind the time, we're a different land. We might be slobs, but we're not weak. Maybe it's because of our convict streak. The Bronx are weakest, the French are queer. The Germans are wankers, but they make good beer. emphasise what you don't understand. If you think I'm talking shit, you don't belong in this land. I'm Australian, so are you. Doesn't matter if you're ding or Jew. Just remember while you're here, march and drink our beer.
You might have noticed there's a howling breeze, and that's the Fremantle Doctor for those of you who've never lived in Perth. This place, these streets around here get baking hot in summer. It's regularly over the old 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees centigrade. It was so hot along here as a kid, you know, you could, because you never wore shoes, so you had to dash from the shade of one tree to another, and regrettably there's much fewer trees. I lived back up on that hill up there that's called Castle Hill, right at the front. And my house is now gone, but that's where I lived, so it was quite good, you know. I got inspiration from Rottnest Island all the way over to Perth. But in summer, or any time, but primarily summer, you'd pound the streets as a teenager here. Most likely you didn't have a car, you know, certainly not when you were 15 or 16. When you were lucky, by the time you hit 17, you might get one friend who'd scraped together enough money to get a car and you all chipped in for petrol. But there's no trains that run here. There's no subway, no underground. There's nothing cool or chic about this. This is, I mean, that house over there is pretty much exactly suburban with a little bit of the less, didn't have a security grill in those days, but the old red brick and the tiles, that's what it was all about. So day in, day out, you'd be reading or listening to bands like the Rolling Stones or the Beatles or Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, and you'd think this was fantastic, you know. In the UK or in the US or San Francisco, Summer of Love, Frank Zappa, mentioned Frank, didn't I? Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison and the Doors, all those musical influences. But my challenge is, well, yeah, but hang on, how can I do Haight-Astbury here in Beach Street or Caldwell Street where it's 40 degrees, there's no subway, there's nothing. You know, there's probably about 2 girls in the whole suburb from what I can remember. I don't know what the rest of them did, but you know, you just sort of walk around trying to find the same girls. And that's pretty much like the inspiration of Suburban Boy, and the whole suburban rock concept came from that. Okay, let's do some songs about us. So when you hear those songs, those early Warner songs, essentially, this is the world. That was my world up there, the big house. And before I had a car that I could drive around in, you just had to walk. And believe me, when it's 40 odd degrees or 106 degrees or whatever Fahrenheit, it's bloody hard going.
My phone gave a tingle about 4:30. I was lying nearly naked on my bathroom floor. God's worst with the deep since I've been watching you. From my flip-flop kitchen window, got an unobstructed view. She says, no, Dave, ain't you a trifle indiscreet or just a smidgen? What's your explanation on this Australian heat? It'll penetrate your body from your nose down to your ears. Just no escaping this Australian heat. Up and down the freeway and it's 3 a.m. Now the fee became a dirty and the dirty became fled. I'm cruising in the cool breeze looking for a place to spit. I tried to squeeze it out my window but I knew it wouldn't fit. This car was up inside. Please, what you doing on this street, me? Yeah, you wanna? I'm trying to get away from this couple of penetrate your body from your nose down to your ears. Just escaping this Australian heat. Hot guitar, Johnny Levy. mouth with a suicidal thud. Morphine cannot smash that mozzie pipeline to my blood. I try to read a Playboy, but my eyes are just too sore. I keep thinking about that penthouse on the 5th floor. I get up in the middle of the night, maybe I get a bite to each eye. Can't help always thinking about rubbing up my meat. That it'll penetrate your body from your nose down to your feet. There's just no escaping this Australian heat. Cooking down till you give me a bit of an air-conditioned guitar. 38 degrees centigrade. Civic Hotel, Boxing Day 2004. Cool me down.
When I was in London, living in a flat in Brixton in 1975, and looking back fondly at Point Walter, I wrote Bicton Breezes, and there was a line in that about, I don't remember the tram to Point Walter, because there actually was tram tracks that finished up down here in the old days prior to my time. And so that was a part of the Bicton world, as was the Cousinus Fish and Chip Shop over in Atterdale, since turned into a wine bar or something equally exotic. But this was our world. This was the world of people from the southern suburbs, Atterdale and Bicton, Palmyra, compared to the world over there, the western suburbs and the north side of the river, who were, you know, much classier than us and used to hang out and do things like surf, whereas we could never quite get around to surfing. You know, we just used to ride our bikes around and try and get away from swooping magpies.
I drained another pastis, searched in vain for an accomplice, pen poised above the postcard. I didn't think writing back would be this hard, but how can you tell the truth?
They only want to hear what they want to hear. They want to hear about success. From Amsterdam to Munich, from Brussels on to Zurich, I'll be sitting round the TV, watching the action replay. But oh, you lucky pricks, I wish I was there, 'cause I'm all alone, and that's not much fun when you're a million miles from home. I've seen the Eiffel Tower. I would have traded that for a proper shower. I've lived for months on bread and cheese, and I'm sick of that and museums and art galleries. Just give me my best friends, a beer, a barbecue, and a steak that bends. But I'll go back and I'll tell you all about the fine wines, the great times, the laughter and the girls. You'll be crowded round my letter, envious of this trendsetter. But oh, you lucky pricks, I wish I was there, 'cause I'm all alone, and that's not much fun. You're a million miles from home. I drained another pastis, searched the rain for an accomplice, turned insane by the River Rhine, and blinded by the sun on the riverside. But how can you tell the truth? They only want to hear what they
they want to hear about success. From Amsterdam to Munich, from Brussels on to Zurich, I'll be sitting around the TV, watching the action replay. But oh, you lucky pricks, I wish it was there, 'cause I'm all alone, and that's not much fun, 'cause you're a million miles from home. Thank you very much.
Caldwell Street, Bicton. Now, this is the place I moved to in 1976 after I got back from England. I'd lived in London for a year and a half, and I moved from my parents' place, which is down that way. You can actually see the house from here up on the top of the hill, down to here. And my mate Gerard Evans, and Gerard had this house, so there was 3 guys in it originally. Of course, a complete pigsty. But just in that room over there, the house has changed a bit, but that's where I suddenly, in around about 76 and early 77, had this great flurry of songwriting activity. And in the space of a couple of months, I wrote Suburban Rock, Old Stock Road, I think probably parts of Halftime of the Football came through there. Some of the other songs like Deep End and I Don't Know What I Feel were all written around it at the same time. We rehearsed for quite a few months with the band. The Suburbs did about 4 months rehearsal in the Point Walter, what's now the, I guess that stage it was like the Point Walter Hostel, and now it's some sort of ritzy place or semi-ritzy place as far as Bicton can get ritzy. But in those days there was nothing much more than a shed, and it used to get bloody hot in there. And but we rehearsed for hours and hours because I had the idea that, one, not only did I want the songs to be pretty good when I came out, because they were original songs, but I also wanted to have a ton of them, because if you were going to make a living as a musician, people had to come and see you 5 nights a week, and in a small place like Perth, that meant having a very extensive repertoire so they didn't get bored. So not only did we record all the Suburb songs, but we had a complete set of Australian 60s songs, and a splinter band called Dave Mod and the Lambrettas used to perform that. And I also had a whole pile of country songs, a lot of which were send-up country songs, and that was called Dave and the Dugites, not to be confused with the Dugites who came along later and some of whom played in the band. But yeah, very much all of that stuff coming from Caldwell Street.
Always pumping like a heart at the end of a marathon. Steam comes belching from the subways and melts the streets that you're on. And the village buckles and sags from the weight of its crew. No one plays someone and everyone's somebody's fool. But you can't keep the life off the streets, no matter the risk or the heat. It's the pattern of Manhattan on a Friday and Saturday night. And if a boy from Bicton makes a hook, well then it's gonna be a hell of a fight. Someone shot up in a cop up in the South Bronx. Ginsberg shot his mouth off and Warhol he ate at this restaurant. And the Bicton boys are front row forward with nerves of steel. And the Brooklyn hood is good at the sort of looks that kill. But you can't keep the life off the streets, no matter the risk or the heat. It's a pattern of Manhattan on a Friday and Saturday night. And if the boy from Bicton makes a hook from Brooklyn, then it's gonna be a hell of a fight. It's almost as if everything happens by accident. The cabs and the threat of violence are ever present. A tourist from Victon and a Brooklyn hood are on a collision course. But the outcome's uncertain, cause either could turn off on West 24. But you can't keep the life off the streets, no matter the risk of the hoots. It's the pattern of Manhattan on a Friday and Saturday night. And if the boy from Victon makes the hood from Brooklyn, then it's gonna be a hell of a fight. And I can't give the answer cause it happened in one moment that's frozen in time. Victon v Brooklyn is some bout that bounces around in my mind. Is there a winner and loser, or do both just squirt on the ground? At the end of a celluloid shootout, who'll survive this time around? And you can't keep the life off the streets, no matter the risk of the hoot. It's the pattern of Manhattan on a Friday night. And if the boy from Victon makes the hood from Brooklyn, then it's gonna be a hell of a fight. If the boy from Victon makes the hood from Brooklyn, then it's gonna be a hell of a fight. If the boy from Victon makes the hood from Brooklyn, then it's gonna be a hell of a fight. Gotta be a hell of a fight. Ah, yes. I'm a long, long way, many thousand miles from home. When I heard the news, I had to use the telephone. You see my best friend caught it and I hear that he's not alone. Sad pandemic and it's crowded on the streets back home. It's sidewalk surfing, no use pretending it doesn't exist. Growing army of millions and they're waiting to enlist. Well, I understand the crazies, all the rage and stuff. Rocking down the freeway, the causeway and the highway beach. But I'm sure the guys and girls who Victon, well, they do the best. Oh, when it comes to Suburbs, secondary, really no contest. I heard the news, I heard he used the telephone. See my best friend caught it and I hear that he's not alone. It's an epidemic and it's crowded on the streets back home. It's sidewalk surfing, no use pretending it doesn't exist. There's a growing army of millions and they're waiting to enlist. Well, I understand the crazies, all the rage at Suburban Beach. Rocking down the freeway, the causeway and the highway beach. But I'm sure the guys and girls who think while they need the best. Oh, they could be so excited, doing no contest. Grab that skate, Greg. When it comes to Suburbs, with the near ain't really no contest. Oh, when it comes to Suburbs, with the near ain't really no contest.
And this was Suburbia. Trevor Sprigg, the East Fremantle footballer, lived over there. And again, this is my inspiration when I started to write, that it was time somebody wrote about what the sort of the environment that we all had. Everybody that I knew, whether your parent was a doctor or a surgeon, or whether your parent worked on the wharf, everybody I knew had a Laminex table in the kitchen. They had the old leaky Kelvinator fridge. There were only, you had the Pi TV or maybe the Healing TV or something. There was about 3 brands of television, and usually only 2 television stations. When I was growing up, we got really, really exclusive and got 3 and 4 in the late 60s and 70s. So this was really typical, this sort of street. This was Perth. You could have transferred this to Nollamara or Jundanna. Really didn't make much difference. The difference for me was the proximity of the river, and so that coloured a lot of my writings. Around the time that I was here, and I can't remember, I think I'd already started working on songs like Old Stock Road, but around about that time people gave me recordings. They'd say, oh, here's somebody that's doing stuff like you. And I remember listening to Jonathan Richman of the Modern Lovers, of that album. So that probably influenced me too. I can't remember whether I'd done stuff a bit before that or whatever, but interestingly Jonathan Richman had this really sparse garage type sound as well. Tom Waits was another around that time who was doing monologue stuff on piano and coming to attention. So people would give me these albums and say, have a listen to this person, if I hadn't already discovered them myself. So this was, the hub of creativity. I still don't know how it all worked out actually, but I'd sit there, I'd walk down the road and get fish and chips from the Cousinas brothers in Attadale, and walk back up to here with a can of Coke and write 3 or 4 songs in a week.
Days. There's absolutely no chance of me forgetting your cruelty. So go away. I recall the long, lonely drives I gave you. Every pitter-patter of my heart that made you happy in your hatred of me campus days. No, there won't be any rose-coloured glasses, just a trace of blood to recall you by. Every sleepless night I'll serenade you, remembering the way you hurt me so much I couldn't cry. Campus days, you really are a swell guy. I could ever forget the time you with me, into thinking that I'd found a girl at last. What about the way that you led me? It really was a great joke, the kind that makes a valley laugh. Campus days, you turn me to a psychopath. Campus days, there's absolutely no chance of me forgetting your cruelty. So go away. I recall the long and lonely drives I gave you. Every flitter flutter of my heart that made you happy in your hatred of me campus days. Happy in your hatred of me campus days.
So on Castle Hill up there, the Lees, there were 3 houses. The Lees were on this side, we were on the other side. And from Donald Lee's place there, they used to keep chooks. And one of the great games was you'd collect the eggs from the chooks and you'd hurl them down and try and land them on the roof of the house below. Now it was pretty hard to get into the roof. But they did these people had an outdoor dunny, and they used to get in there a tin dunny, and so you'd rain these eggs down upon the roof of the dunny, and consequently, some stage later on, after a couple of months of this, there'd be phone calls to fathers, and you'd be called in for some sort of physical beating from Donald's parents or my own. But that was life in the suburbs. Nothing much else to do. Chuck rocks, chuck eggs, hoon around, and I don't know if life changes. I suppose it changes a hell of a lot these days. People just hoon around on the Foxtel set or something. But that was life in the 70s anyway.
I was standing at the bar and I was minding my own business. But this ugly looking fella says I'm trying to kiss his missus. I said I wouldn't know your missus from a piece of shit. He says, would you mind repeating that over in the car park? Everything that happens seems to happen in the car park. Whenever there's a bucket, it's a bucket in the car park. Everything is shocking when I'm rocking in the car park. I wanna see some action, so I'm stopping in the car park. When my baby moves, she gives me lumps of excitation, and the way she such a straw fills me with expectation. I whisper in her ear, honey, will you bark? She says, come on and I'll show you over in the car park. Everything that happens seems to happen in the car park. Whenever there's a bucket, it's a bucket in the car park. Everything is shocking, it's a rockin' in the car park. I wanna see some action, so I'm stopping in the car park. He had a 69 Ford, I had a 67 Holden. We traded inside through the window and the lights had long gone golden. He saw the semi-trailer just before he carked. He said, I knew I should have fucking dragged you over in the... Everything that happens seems to happen in the car park. There's a bucket, there's a bucket in the car park. Everything was shopping, there's a mucking in the car park. I want to see some action, so I'm stopping in the car park. With a face like Farrah Fawcett, and the flattest little tummy was where she wears a corset. And she always lets you bite her where you never leave a mark. There's been long queues for hours waiting there in the car park. Everything that happens seems to happen in the car park. Whenever there's a bucket, there's a bucket in the car park. Everything was shopping, there's a bucket in the car park. Some action, so I'm stopping in the car park. Car park. Car park. Car park. Car park. Car park. Yeah.
So the songs, as I say, everything revolved pretty much around sex and girls, or no sex and no girls. So one of my earliest songs was Hot Crutch, written over in Atterdale there with Al Howard, who's since left this world. But Al was a crazy guitarist, and he and I decided to write a fairly stupid song, so we came up with Hot Crutch.
Sitting with my baby
little kookaburras, fly, fly, please.
She's a kookaburra girl, very, very thorough girl. Orders you when she burrows, all the way from Plananara. She swoops so low, makes me wriggle like a worm. She's a kookaburra girl, kookaburra girl, kookaburra girl, kookaburra eyes, kookaburra thighs. She swoops so low, swoops so low, makes me wriggle like a worm.
This is the sort of place that you came to Friday night or Saturday night after the Melloway drive-in. You know, you'd had a pash, it could perhaps continue. This is where love and sex and heartbreak happened, just around these places in the bushes over there on the tracks. This is where the Sandman panel vans were parked. And so consequently, when you hear songs of mine like Mugs Game or even Halftime at the Football, these might be the sort of images that I was conjuring up in my head. Here, lonely suburbia, because that's what my stuff is all about. The Laminex table, the football, and basically not getting a route on a Friday or a Saturday. Or, you know, if you were lucky, you might. But of course, if you were lucky and you did, then your whole heart was put into that as a young guy, and so you were completely squashed and broken and traumatised for the rest of your life. And we all, you know, bear the scars that show that.
Well, for an encore, we're much older these days. You've been mugged. You hit the pub at 9,
looking for a route, you'll leave alone when it closes. Stash some tinnies in the boot. That's a mug's game. It's a mug's game.
I've been mugged. I know that you've been mugged, otherwise you wouldn't be seeing Dave Warner. You'd be saving up for 1927 or Noiseworks. So you've been mugged. Unless, of course, you went to see Noiseworks, in which case you're even more mugged in the mugs game. That's okay, girls. I know they're pretty boys, we couldn't hope to compete. If only I'd have spent my whole life eating pizzas with an earring in the ear, long wavy hair, just cruising at Rotto in the summer so that girls could climb out of the surf and go, oh, there he is, that spunk. Which one? No, not you, you old hack, him. Looking over my shoulder, I see 19 years old Zongo. He eats about 8 cream donuts down at the Rottnest Bakery. Has his board there every day, never goes surfing. I'll just get around to it. Zongo, what are your finest moments in life?
My finest moment in life was the first time I ever listened to the Oils. That just blew me out, man. It's incredible.
Why couldn't I have been like that? Why couldn't you have been like that? Then you could have been somewhere. Girls, you could have been hooning it up down the beach. You could have had brief bikinis. You could have lay on wealthy businessmen's yachts as they cruised out to sea regattas. We all could have been someone, but we chose to be ourselves. And that's a cross you have to bear all your lives. Because the world doesn't go to those who are what they are like us, no. Friday night does not belong to the people with no bullshit. Friday night in Australia belongs to the wankers and the charlatans. And the people who haven't got enough brains to even discern that they barrack for Swan Districts, let alone in the mugs game. I could have been someone. I could have hung out at places like the Swanbourne Hotel or Plaistows on a Friday afternoon. I could have put my aging stomach on the marble bar. I could have looked across the crowd and seen a 29-year-old divorcee who works as a real estate saleswoman at Roy Weston. She could have glanced at me, I could have glanced at her. Bartender, 2 Coronas, please. Hi, I'm Derek. Hi, I'm Sandra. Derek swings his massive bunch of Pajero keys from his right finger. Hey, Sandra. I'm really cool. I've got a Pajero which is illegally parked out the back, blocking in some Dave Warner fans record. I'm in advertising. I earn $80,000 a year. And I've got the entire collection of Darryl Braithwaite and John Farnham. Plus, oh, can there be any more, Derek? I'm already wet for you. What else can you tell me? Well, plus, my radio dial is never off 96 FM. Oh, you're just the coolest guy. There's only one thing I have to ask you, Derek.
Yes?
Do you have the latest Reebok footwear?
I do.
Okay, I'm yours. Let's go back to your place and root. So there they are, back at Derek's. Waves gently breaking over Cottesloe Beach as they look down from his penthouse. Derek comes out of the bathroom in his satin gown with a big D on it. Big D inside it, too. Sandra is reclining on the bed, just humming the voice to herself slowly. Derek puts the dimmer switch on. Oh, Sandra.
Oh, Derek.
Oh, Sandra. Oh, Derek, I want you to. What do you want me to do, Sandra? I want you to. What do you want me to do, Sandra? I want you to. Fuck me, Derek. What's the matter, Sandra? What's the matter? Why are you getting up out of bed? Well, shouldn't we take some precautions? What do you mean precautions? My wife's over in New Zealand for a holiday. No. I mean, AIDS. Shouldn't you wear a condom? AIDS? What do you think I am, Sandra? A homo? I am not a homo, I'm an advertising executive. I drive a Pajero. The only guys allowed in my lounge room are guys that can climb one-handed across a stream in Tasmania, sipping a can of Solo from their bare hand, while the effervescence stains their Dennis Lilly mustache. That's how much of a man I am, Sandra. Oh, okay then, Derek, let's get it on. Oh, Sandra. Oh, Derek. Oh, Sandra. Oh. And then just before we build to the climax, I must tell you that it happened to me recently. In Sydney, at this moment in the song, that I had a flash. It was the luckiest, most, some of you know the worst day of my life, that song. This was the most fortunate day of my life. Because I read in the paper that 9 passengers had been sucked from a jumbo jet into oblivion. And it was not me. That was the best thing that's ever happened to me. There is one true fact though. Those passengers were certain to have been Suburban fans, I can tell you that for sure. It never would have happened to anybody who followed 1927 or 1910 Fruit Gum Company or anybody like that. They aren't party to the mugs game. So let's rejoin Derek and Sandra in their moment of climax. Oh, Derek. Oh, Sandra. Oh, Derek. Oh, Sandra. Oh, Derek. Oh. And right at that moment, hurtling through the window comes a fully strapped jumbo seat with 9 people on board, crushing Derek and Sandra in the moment of orgasm. It's a mugs game. It's a mugs game! It's a mugs game! And we are part of the mugs game! From Guy Sebastian to Shannon Knoll to Casey Donovan, we are all part of the mugs game! 'Cause you think you found a true love, another kindred soul, but it turns out that your true love is just another mole. You've got a girl at Christmas, you've lost her by New Year, and the worst part is she's ripped off and made off with your beer, and that's a mugs game. That's a mugs game. It's a mugs game. It's a mugs game. Mugs game. Mugs game. Mugs game. Mugs game. Mugs game. Thank you all.
And this was another place that people wound up after a big drinking session at the Raffles Hotel or the Burragoon Hotel. This was another hideaway, but not quite as private as Point Walter. Up the background up there was the quarantine station, and I'd go to sleep at night with the yelps and barks of dogs from the quarantine station reaching us. And of course a lot of people hated it, but I didn't mind it at all. It was pretty good actually, and several times exotic animals would escape from the quarantine station and wind up near our place up on the hill. A mountain goat I can well recall coming out one morning to find a mountain goat perched out the front of our place on top of the highest rocky outcrop that it could find. And across the way there, on the other side, was the sugar refinery. Now the sugar refinery was great for years. The sugar refinery dominated the river aspect, and it was something in this place that was industrial. It was something that wasn't just another house, but of course that also has since been torn down. And one of the great things was to swim from here across to the other side of the river. It's not very far, and when you got over to the other side where the sugar refinery outlet was, goodness knows what was being pumped in there, but you could actually, it all smelt like rice bubbles as you swam around, like rice bubbles coming out into the water, so some sort of sugar and who knows what else, what other infections we probably should have died with at that time. That was Bicton in the 60s and 70s and early part of the 80s, but as you can see now it's changed. But the heart of Australia hopefully hasn't changed, and there's still room for a suburban boy.
Just
poor boys from the city.
I go to the football and I cheer for my team. Go to the football just to hear myself scream. I'm just a suburban boy. I am just a suburban boy. Sunday session, I'm down at the hotel, staring at girls that I don't know. Well, I'm just a suburban boy. I am just a suburban boy. And I know what it's like to be rejected every night. And I'm sure that it must be easier for boys from the city. I wake up every morning with no one beside me. I wake up every morning, my mother will chime me. I'm just a suburban boy. I am just a suburban boy. Sunday session, I'm down at the hotel, staring at girls that I don't know. Well, I'm just a suburban boy. I am just a suburban boy. And I know what it's like to be rejected every night. I'm sure that it must be easier for boys from the city. Easier. Easier for boys. Girls from the city. Thank you, Civic Hotel.
Great night. Fantastic music.
That was good. Yeah. Well, Leanne used to go out with John. So I'm just here as her husband and just have a good night. It was a good night.
Say something. Great night. Nostalgia Plus. Came all the way from Los Angeles to watch this game.
Oh, we came back from last year. We were here last year and had a good game. It's a Muds game,
So this is, we used to go and watch them at the Vic, up in the back where the nose bag was, and they'd tell us to shut up all night, but we loved it every night.
I was the only suburban soldier out of all these boys, and I was too young to drink and get in, but I used to get them in. Because they couldn't get in, and I used to get them in the pub. Hot crutch!
Hot crutch, let's go.
Nothing ever happens out here. It's all just flat, huh?
Basically, it's obvious that things have gone wrong, and they're going wrong in situations that, and in a part of the world where life gets very difficult.
They ride their bicycles where we raced our cars. They take the billiard rooms, turn them into flash wine bars. They talk about equality, but the chicks don't talk to me. I tell you that these streets aren't what they used to be. Don't ring to laughter anymore. They stink of liars, dope that's hidden in the bar. These streets aren't safe for violence anymore.
Convict Street was a song that I consciously wrote just before I came back to Australia after I'd been in England for about a year, the first time. And that was, just before I came back, there was a whole lot of articles by expatriate Australians living in England, journalists and stuff, about how they'd gone back to the country, and they were sort of assessing Australia. And the assessment was one that was invalid because, you know, they were living in England anyway, so there must have been some reasons that they didn't want to live in Australia.
And Convict Street was written as a sort of a balance between two things. One, I could sympathise with the point of view of these people who by and large were saying that Australia was a great go-ahead place but it was uncultured. I could sympathise with that to some extent, but then from the other point of view I could see that what you have to do is create an art or a culture from what's given to us, and that's very different to a European thing. You know, our culture has to be created from barbecues and sausages and tomato sauce and football, and not from talking about Rembrandts and Van Goghs and Harold Pinters. So it's a song that expresses that sort of dilemma of being an Australian.
Don't jump to conclusions. I'm afraid I have bad news, not good news. We've had a lot of trouble with this hotel. The things that have been agreed to haven't happened, and I'm afraid that we're cancelling the show. No, I'm not joking. We've either lost the keys to the boot, or someone's locked them in there. So we're taking advantage of the nice Ampol garage in Exmouth to get in. Once we get in, we'll either find out that the keys are in there, or at least we'll be able to get our stage costumes out of the boot so we can do the show tonight.
The other thing
One of the songs that won't be on it is this song, and even though it's not on it, won't have half of the fabulous words that I used to be able to put in the song because they've been declared manifestly obscene by Magistrate Buck. And so, because of this, you won't be hearing a word that you think you might be hearing. What you will actually be hearing is the magistrate's name substituted instead of the words. Magistrate Buck, that's his name. We're gonna zip and blast. Went to a party and there were 40 girls. 3 blokes including me, one indeterminate with curls. Prettiest chick of the lot with cheese dip on her lips. Sidled up and says, put your tongue between my hips. I bent down to comply in accordance with her wishes. She broke my jaw with a kick that's swift and vicious. She says, that'll teach you, Dave, to take advantage of a me. I said, you might be pretty, baby, but original you're never gonna be.
I make a lot more people angry than what most other people, what most other groups do. I certainly have a higher negative influence on people. You know, what I was concerned with was the white European-origined Australian and the sort of aggressive streak that we have. But also, while it's aggressive and while it's sort of yobbish, there is something that has got a lot of vitality about it.
I knew this highway war had just begun. Don't be a quitter, don't be a quitter. You gotta keep your pedal to the floor. All those yanks will overtake you when you know the end. Kick your ass from in a Baltimore. By the time I made Virginia, my eyes were seeing Linya, so I stopped the windows are fogged.
Class, what was that?
Must be a dog.
Shouldn't we get out and maybe take a look?
That's okay by me if that's you, mate. But what a strange night, strange night, oh strange night, very strange night, strange night, strange night, strange night, very strange night. Thelma Boone was getting upset. Ray was late coming home, but she wouldn't call the police yet. Tom skidded to a halt in our parents' garage. We got out to see where we'd hit the verge. There was a bit of blood right across the bumper, so I wiped it down with my Christmas jumper. Tom said a pity about that dog, but I couldn't see nothing. My windows were fogged. We all agreed it was a top night out. We still had 2 Emu X-Bots, some Kalgoorlie stout. Strange night, strange night.
So, how's things with Shell?
Michelle, no good. Car stuff, she's got a cracked head.
Just like a chick letting the radiator boil dry.
No. I caught her in the car with Rocky Rigatoni. First I smashed her car, then I cracked her head. What about you and Denise?
Don't think we're going out anymore, you know. No. Caught her around there the other day. You know that cardboard cow he had I won for at the Royal Show on the Climbing Monkeys? Yeah. That was left on the veranda. The friendship ring from solid gold was chucked on the lawn. And she was inside rooting Rocky Rigatoni.
How did you know she was rooting him?
I could see the bored expression on his face.
So the young suburban boys go back to the football. The suburban girls go back to lying down on the lounge room floor, listening to Dire Straits or whatever else is coming. Oh, this is groovy. There's a little squeal of wheels in the driveway again. Oh, look, it's those guys from Azura that we met down Papa Luigi's. And sure enough, the red, blue and white striped battalions barge into the door. Hello, mamma mia, how are you girls going today? Oh, not bad, thank you, say the young suburban girls, pulling on their skin-tight pants that they've soaked in an alkaline solution earlier in the day so that the tight Terylene crutch frays and bears and comes apart, and the girls go, oh, we don't know what's going on, we're just revealing our little 96 FM knickers with a photo of Bill Ally in the front, which when a certain light strikes it turns into Michael Jackson with the Thriller eyes. The Azura boys can take it no longer, they leap upon the suburban girls, ripping down these knickers, and the girls going, we don't know what's going on, we've just got a bit of hot bum on the carpet. Meanwhile out of the football, these Fremantles are still trying to get away from Subi, but they can't extend the gap. Speaking of extending the gap, at that very moment on the lounge room floor, the Azura boys are trying just that. Yes, trying to extend. Mum and Dad are there, so we don't know what's going on. Why are the Subiaco Winds doing so well? Because of the music. It's being pumped all over the state, all over Australia. Brains are being taken away. Let's all go down and watch the fireworks display. Yes, you're all being turned into hats. Brian Burke up there with a little baby watching a sunset. What a lot of crap. Look at sunset. Here, go to fireworks. Yes, the moron mentality bearing down at you, keeping the wimps alive. But one man will not stand for it. Johnny Leopard, doused in commando black. Girls wank. Girls wank. So do the interviews of GTK. They trust the best as all the laughs away. They're in love with the sound of their own voice. Swamp by waving trees. And they would have their winner gonna go and set their Girls wank. So do the growers of organic food.